Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey, that's Rachel, and we're here to talk about the fighter of the year for 2020, Clay Collard. And I mean fighter, whether you're talking UFC, boxing, this guy's doing is spectacularly amazing.
He's unexpected, right? An unexpected fighter of the year candidates. But here comes this guy who, I guess I'm going to go box because I can't. Got released from the UFC.
Got released from the UFC a long time ago, 5 years ago. He was with the Professional Fighters League, which is like a secondary promotion that does allow people the opportunity to win a whole lot of money. The winner of PFL, those tournaments get $1 million. That's a lot of money. But the only reason he's competing in boxing is because that thing shut down because of COVID.
Yeah, and so he
took a fight.
Matches, right?
Well, he took a fight thinking this will be my last fight or my last boxing fight or whatever. And of course, in boxing, that means he was pitted against an undefeated prospect. Well, he beat that guy. Yeah. So they did that to him 2 more times, beat those guys.
Yeah.
And so now he's the guy that they're pitting guys against, right? They're putting him on the A side.
Yeah.
And he has quickly become, he's 4-0 in 2020, the only fighter that's probably that. And he's quickly become a sensation in the boxing world. An ex-UFC fighter that was cut after going 1-3. What an amazing story. I can't wait till he fights Canelo. Or Mayweather. I mean, why can't we talk about him fighting Mayweather?
Why would Mayweather come back?
Mayweather's always talking about crossover boxing battles against MMA fighters. Here you go.
He said he's not fighting. Anyway, no.
He reminds me of Glenn Koff Johnson. Do you remember Glenn Koff Johnson? I don't remember the exact year. But I remember showing you Roy Jones Jr., my childhood hero, and he was fighting Glenn Johnson in that fight, a guy who worked as a construction worker, who was just a guy. And this was after Roy had fallen off a cliff, except we didn't really know by that point that he had fallen off the cliff. He got knocked out by Antonio Tarver. Glenn Koff Johnson went in there, knocked him out, but he went on to do other big things. I think he beat Tarver, the guy that knocked out Roy Jones as well, and solidified himself as the fighter of the year. A surprising turn of events because he wasn't even a full-time fighter. Neither was this guy. And I really think, if you had to vote right now, you would have to vote for Clay Collard. And if he keeps winning, right, what if he's 6-0 at the end of the year? I think he'll be something of the year. He's definitely, to me, the biggest storyline of the year in boxing. And the craziest part, he's going back to MMA soon.
Well, so he was interviewed, and he said that he still considers himself an MMA fighter. He was grateful to PFL while they canceled, what they had going on during this global pandemic. He was grateful that they said, okay, you can go box during this. And so that's what he's been doing. And not only has he won 4 fights in 2020, but he's also won them in an exciting, fan-friendly ways.
Yeah, he's won them all different ways. He's knocked people out. He's won decisions. Yeah. But it's not like a guy that goes 4-0 that, okay, you obviously expected him. But he was an underdog in at least 3 or 4 fights.
It's also different when when somebody takes a prospect and if they went 4-0, you'd be like, okay, because we know, right? We all know as boxing fans, they put those guys in there against tomato cans. Did I use that right?
Sure. Literal tomato cans.
Cab drivers. People, and then, later on, if you want them to, maybe get some notoriety, you pick, an aging,
yeah. They're matched very carefully, right? You don't want to gloss
veteran, yeah. But, with this guy, he was that guy for who he's fighting. So
he was the tomato can.
He won 4 in a row against people where you were trying to help them learn how to be a fighter in real life, in the ring, you know?
Because he's here's this MMA fighter guy. He's not really a boxer. You should be able to go in here. He's already had
but it'll be a good, you can get in there and get some.
The tomato can has become the reverse tomato can. He reversed it on him, and now he, I think, is a fighter of the year in boxing and probably all sports. Really, what an amazing thing. Maybe Justin Gage. I don't know. Somebody will deserve that for all sports. I also don't really award that. So
how did he get all these fights? Because we know UFC's been going on, but boxing hasn't been. It's been happening.
He's the guy. Because he said yes. He's the guy that keeps accepting fights. And at first, they were obviously if you've noticed the level of fighter on these top-ranked boxing shows on ESPN, the ones that have been shown here in America, it's not super high, right? We haven't
and even when we get named fighters, like we had Jamel Herring, and then he gets a positive test for COVID, and so we lose it.
Well, especially on the undercards, I'm saying you're getting kind of guys that you wouldn't normally maybe see on TV. Well, he was but he was a guy that apparently should have been on TV the whole time. Right? He used that. He got the opportunity, made the best of it, stays busy, stays active, and I think he's gonna.
That really serves him well because it's nice when you're doing something. You're on a run like this, but because he was televised, there's also footage of it. Yeah. So you know what? Like people out there have like runs and whatnot, but like it's hard if you don't have a way to like share it and for it to kind of take off.
I love when guys like Clay Collard come out of nowhere and make a huge impact on whatever it is, on culture of the sport, whatever it is. I think it's amazing, and it's a testament to Clay Collard's resiliency.
Hey, Clay Collard, here's what I want to tell you. I want you to consider
being our best friend. Oh.
Being a boxer. I will tell you this. I think that you will make more money boxing than you will as an MMA fighter. And so this might be like the thing that you're really great at. You've been great so far. I say, don't count boxing out. Maybe go all in on it.
I'm going to do you one better, Rachel. Clay Collard, here's what I think you should do next year. I think you should win the PFL tournament for $1 million. You should fight Canelo Alvarez for $30 million in a boxing ring. And that's right, you're going to fight Conor McGregor at UFC 265 for $20 million, whatever. That is a huge year. And please, please, please share it with Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel because we're your best fight friends. Thanks, Clay Collard and friends, for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our show. Be sure to come back tomorrow.